Hey everyone, Dylan with the HD Perspective here, and I have the Mac Tools flyer. Well, I don't really get a tool truck anymore, but they post their flyers up on their website, so I thought I'd go through it with you, show you what I like and what I don't like, and so let's do it. So yeah, this is the opening page here, the front page. There you go. So I should mention that I'm looking at the US flyer. If you want the Canadian one, it's also on there, and the prices are of course a lot more, but the items are all the same. So we've got some grinders and or polishing kit, sorry. So there's your prices there. I can't really say if that's a good deal or not. You know, it says save 150 bucks, 140, but I'm pretty sure you could shop around and get a better deal elsewhere, but could be handy to have depending on what you're doing. They've got their scan tools here. I won't speak too much of that because I don't really have experience with them coming from the heavy duty world. Yeah, haven't used them, so I don't know. Battery boosters here, so there you go. Magnets, it's always good to have a different assortment of magnets. You can get them all for 40 bucks. Seems okay. I don't know. Nothing to write home about. You could probably go on Amazon and find something that'll work for you just as good for a lot less. Here we've got cordless ratchets. Yeah, these tools are very handy, although I probably wouldn't be buying this one in particular. I would look at the Milwaukee one, they're pretty good. I don't have it myself. I know a couple guys that got it though, and they've been pretty happy with them. I've got the old style Milwaukee one, and it's okay, it's not great. Probably more like this 1/4 inch drive. I've also got the Snap-on one, which is actually pretty good, but it is pricey. And I've had it for quite a few years now, and it's lasted me pretty good. So I can speak to that for sure. Underhood lights, if you're working on any cars or trucks, automotive stuff, they are very handy. Milwaukee also makes one. I'm invested in that platform, so it makes sense for me to have the batteries that go along with it already. And I do have the Milwaukee version, and I just use it at home basically, but it works very well, I would say. And then of course these support clamps, good to have, I guess, but you could always use a piece of wood or or whatever you've got on hand, even a set of vice grips if you really wanted to, I guess, but might damage the rod a little bit. But I guess you get it all for 250 bucks, so maybe that's not too bad. When you buy this 48-piece quarter drive impact socket set, so you get all this for $205. Plus these. Actually, I have this set. I can't remember which truck I bought it off. Maybe the Matco one. Yeah, they're just rebranded, so you can find them around. And I do like them. The magnets aren't that strong, so they won't hold your socket, but the low clearance is nice. So that's where those really come in handy. So next here, actually these snap ring pliers, I bought a set of these a couple years ago, and they're very nice. I like them a lot. I use them fairly regularly. So 150 bucks. You could look. Knipex has a similar set, or Knipex, however you want to say it. So there are some other options as well that I think are very good as well. So you can check that out. These little ratchet sets, yeah, for 763 bucks. No way, not doing that. You can go down to pretty much any store or Amazon and get something similar that'll do just as well. And I don't really like Mac ratchets a lot. I find that they're too coarse in the teeth count. I prefer Snap-on ratchets personally. I have all three of the big ones, like the Snap-on, the Matco, and the Mac ones, and I prefer the Snap-on the best from what I've tried. Yeah, I don't know why anyone would be buying an air impact wrench anymore. I don't know. Like, maybe if you want to buy an IR one that was cheap or something like that, just for a backup, but cordless is the way to go now, so those are kind of outdated. Mine just sits in the bottom of my toolbox and I never use it, so. But I guess you get this angle drill if you want. But I don't like how on some of these 90-degree tools, how DeWalt or Mac, they have the battery and then it sticks out. I guess the M18 stuff on Milwaukee does that too. That's where I kind of like the M12. When you get the 2.0 batteries, then they sit in line with the handle instead of sticking out. Okay, what do we got here? Air hammer. I've got the Mac air hammer that's the previous one to this one, and it hits pretty hard, so I'm assuming this one would be fairly decent as well. Plus you get a few ends, so $400 might be okay. And then you get this air saw, which, you know, you'd be surprised. You use it fairly often, or every once in a while. They're handy. Do come in handy. Okay, piston brake pad spreader. Disc pad measuring tool. There you go. Might be able to find some cheaper deals somewhere else, but might not be too bad. I could see where this would be very handy. Sometimes it's hard to clean right around the studs, so this looks like it goes over the stud if I understand it correctly. I haven't actually used one, I'm not sure, but yeah, it could be useful for sure. I could see that. Brake wrench set here, $136. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Brake tool set for $100. Actually, maybe not too bad. And a nice pick set here for $200. So it looks like there's quite a few options there. For $200, maybe not too bad. Yeah, I don't know if I would get it, but I've probably got enough assorted picks that I can do most things. And actually, a lot of these you probably won't really use that much, and some of them you'll use a lot. So it might be worth it just to get the ones that you think you'd use. Okay, they've got their toolbox here, maximizer. Oh, and they got the power drawer, one at top, powered top hutch. I would think nowadays pretty much everything should be powered. I don't know. Seems like it should be a standard feature to me. But there you go. The Sawzall type reciprocating saw thing, $209. Those are handy. I like the one-handed ones. They get into tight spots, but you know, I'm a Milwaukee guy, so I actually have the Milwaukee version of this, both in the M18 and the M12. And the fuel ones, I'm surprised how much power they have. They're pretty good. Yeah, carbide burr set with the long shank, $100. I could see definitely being useful. Whether or not $100 is the right price, or $109, $110, I'm not too sure. Fluid syringe when you buy this fluid evacuator. So I have this fluid evacuator, and I'm pretty happy with it. It works well. Although I just use it at home for doing my own oil changes and stuff. And so I'm not sure how well, being that it's all plastic and everything, it would hold up. Actually, no, I have one that's a step up from this with the actual metal hand pump part, but it's the same volume. So I'm not sure how well this would hold up actually if you're using it every day. Probably want to go with the step up for sure, or there's some other options out there. So worth, if you don't have something like this though, they are very handy. Okay, work light. Yeah, $220. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd be doing that for that price. Some Allen wrenches or hex wrenches, whatever you call them. Wera or Vera, a German tool manufacturer, they actually make some really nice hex wrenches that I've been very happy with. They seem to grip a lot better, like the corners on them are a little bit, maybe I'll do a separate video on them at some point, but they really bite into the head of the bolt, so. And they're quite a bit cheaper too, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, we've got, yeah, some, the award-winning solution for gripping and turning rounded fasteners. Wow. So impressive. Yeah, anyways, hex driver sets. Yeah. Yeah, $100 for a bunch of pliers. Looks like not too bad, although I've heard some guys say that the pliers aren't that great, so I can't really speak to the quality of them, but maybe if you're just starting out and need to get a whole bunch of different stuff, a whole bunch of different pliers, that'd be a good option. And here we have the 6-piece extra long metric double box flex ratcheting wrench set. They look like they'd be pretty handy, and then of course if you buy them on the tow truck, as long as you got a guy that comes out regularly, get them warranted, because I don't think they'll really last that long. Impact driver and drill, $300, a couple batteries and a charger. Looks like a not too bad price if you're invested in either the dual 12-volt system or the Mac. You know, batteries are interchangeable, so. $80 for a bunch of wire brushes and things. Maybe not too bad. You know, you'd be surprised how much you use them, unless, of course, like my company supplies that stuff. It's a consumable item, so I don't see why they shouldn't. But maybe if they don't, then it could be a good option. They always come in handy. Yeah, shirts and whatnot, so. Yeah, and then you got the clothes. I won't really say too much about that, because if you want to get it, then you can get it. If not, I don't really care. Bunch of other stuff. Oh, you can even get yourself a mask to protect yourself from the COVID. Wow. Okay, what do we got here? Air hose holder. Kind of gimmicky, I don't know, but I suppose it is kind of annoying to always have to pick up the clothes off the ground. So, sure, why not? And a battery crimper, cable crimper for $50, not bad. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. That's my 2 cents, I guess, on the Mac Tools Flyer. Talk to you later.